Throughout this class, as we have discussions about sustainability and the impact of human activity on the environment, it's important to keep in mind environmental equity issues pertaining to how resources and consumption are distributed across the people of the earth. Not all people across the globe are equal in their consumption, and therefore, not all people are equal in the impact that they have. In fact, rich industrialized countries account for a hugely disproportionate amount of the consumption of the Earth's resources. On average, 75% of consumption of the Earth's resources comes from just 20% of its population. And in this figure, you can see the breakdown of some of the numbers and types of resources. 24% of the world's population uses 92% of the cars, 86% of the copper and aluminum, 81% of the paper, 80% of the iron and steel, 60% of the artificial fertilizer. And as a thought experiment, I'd like you to consider what would happen if the entire world was consuming at levels comparable to the rich, developed 20%. As you can imagine, the impact on Earth's resources would be devastating. But nonetheless, this is the direction that things are headed, as many of the world's most populous developing countries like China, India, and Brazil are catching up by moving toward industrialization at a rapid pace. And on the one hand, it's perfectly understandable for them to do so because with industrialization often comes a higher standard of living. But on the other hand, the belt needs to be tightened somewhere when it comes to resource consumption to ensure that future generations will be able to thrive as well. So, who will be responsible for consuming less? I don't have an answer to this question, and really nobody does. Environmental equity is an area of much debate, and the international community is nowhere near to resolving the question of how consumption of resources should be divided and how the burden of environmental impact be distributed across the human population.